we're back. It's Joseph Shepard. We're at DragCon 2022, and I decided to capture someone and bring them over from Australia. It is Etcetera Etcetera.
Hello, happy DragCon. We're here in the LA Convention Center of Eleganza Avenue, and I think we're living our best life. Would you say so?
I would say we are living our best life. You look like you're living your best life. Expensive, honey.
I know. Well, I either want to look expensive or I want to look broke, but the last thing I spent my money on was the outfit. I want to look broke but wear beautiful things.
But wear the beautiful,
I know, and that be the cause of it.
Yes.
I mean, we only live once. May as well own some nice dresses.
Exactly. So is this your first time in the U.S.?
No, this is my second time, and last time I came was in 2019, just before the world shut down, and I actually went to New York DragCon as a spectator. And back when Drag Race Down Under wasn't even a thing, and I enjoyed it so much. So this is a full circle experience to be back here and now be a Ru girl. It's actually crazy. It's crazy to be like, oh, the people who I used to line up for are now people that are my friends. It's so weird. It's so crazy.
What has it been like meeting fans from all over the world?
Oh my God.
Is that crazy?
Let me tell you, when we're down under, we get you get a trickle of love, you know, because everyone loves you down there and you get like really lovely interactions, but nothing like this. And so it has been so amazing just to hear people be like, oh, I traveled all the way from the UK to come to DragCon and now I'm meeting you. It's like such affirmation to an artist to hear that people all over the world not only love what you do, but they want to tell you that. Oh my God, it's a dream. It's been so fantastic.
Would you say that, you know, there was some reception about Down Under? Some of the fandom weren't the biggest
some
fans
people
of
hated it. And I'm looking right at you. Some of y'all hated the season, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to actually be vocal about the entertainment they consume. And I mean, there were problems with the casting of the season. There was diversity issues. There was problems with some of the contestants' history.
Yes.
And I think those things, they need to be acknowledged in order to make progress, you know?
Correct.
And you can't hold like entertainment above critique just because people enjoy it. I love Drag Race. I think Drag Race is amazing. It's opened so many doors and created so many platforms for drag artists to step into the mainstream. But if we lose the ability to critique the entertainment we consume, we're never going to take it into a more progressive, open-minded, fantastic place for everyone to experience. So I appreciate everyone giving feedback about the season. I mean, I hated when I was eliminated. Does that count? Is that part of it? I hated
That's
that
totally
bit.
part of it.
I agree.
I mean, so you were saying that the drag scene in Australia is like in Down Under is just totally different than kind of like what you're getting here. So if you were to have a show and if you were to perform, what would that look like?
Well, I've in Sydney where I live and work, I've performed weekly shows basically for the past 5 years. So in Sydney, we do things called production shows where we have between 3 and 5 girls on stage at the same time doing a show together. We choreograph them. They're sometimes up to 15 minutes long, and they're like full theater shows. And so that's where I really cut my teeth in drag, you know, learning choreography. You know, you work with older queens who are much more experienced. They push you off the stage. They bash you around. They give you the school of hard knocks. And because of that, I think Australian queens, they grow up a little bit tougher and a little bit more willing to engage in some friendly fire. You know, we do read each other. And a lot of people, they take that dry sense of humor as that we hate each other. But really, on the show, the people that I read were my friends, and the people I didn't read, they were the ones I hated, you know. I think it's important for people to realize that Australians have a really dark sense of humor, and drag in Australia often makes fun of things that people go, oh my God, that's a bit touchy. I mean, Lee Bowery, the amazing, incredible performance artist, he was born in Australia, so he was born in Melbourne. So his whole sensibility comes from an Australian sense of humor, and you look at it and you go, oh, I can tell. So I think people need to realize that Australian drag is very tongue-in-cheek. That's probably the best way I can describe it. We're hardly ever serious, and if we are, you better watch out. You better watch out.
You better watch out. You better not cry.
Or cry.
You better not pout.
Oh, I'm telling you why.
Do you guys have Santa Claus in Australia?
We do have Santa Claus, but you know the reason I found out, sorry if there's any young children watching this, the reason I found out Santa Claus wasn't real is because when I was 4 years old, I'd given Santa Claus a McDonald's free cheeseburger voucher, and I found it in my mum's pocketbook, and I was like, Well, either my mother has been stealing from Santa Claus or she is Santa Claus. And either way, that's a problem.
That's a very sad way to find out.
I know, and also me giving Santa Claus a free cheeseburger voucher like he couldn't afford it. I mean, his pockets must be stuffed. He's working 24/7 making toys. Anyway, off on a tangent.
Another thing that Santa probably could not fit in was the workroom of your season.
Oh my gosh.
How
yeah.
small was that? Like, looking where we are now, what would you say the workroom size was?
Oh, this is bigger. Yeah, some of the suitcases I packed for Drag Race were bigger than the workroom. Like, I could fit the workroom in the suitcases. No, I'm joking. Look, it was definitely a smaller workroom than I guess the normal workrooms, but I've never been in one for comparison.
Yeah.
So for us,
So it
we were
didn't
like,
feel
oh,
odd.
this is what we get. You know, we didn't know any better. But there was definitely when we walked in and we were like, oh, there's only like 8 racks and there's 10 of us. And they were like, oh yeah, you'll have to share. We looked around and we were like, I don't want to share with any of these fucking bitches. I was like, I've got beautiful large costumes. I don't want to have to hang them up next to some stinky old clothes. But no, it's fine. I mean, I understand that there were some things with production where they had to like change things around and move things around. So like we knew that coming into the season and that's what we ended up with.
Yeah. Are you ready for the hole in the bowl?
I mean, what did you call me?
A hole in a bowl!
Yeah, what do I do? Do
So
I
you
just
stick
reach
your
in?
hand in, you're going to pull out a question, and then you will answer. You'll read it and answer.
This feels invasive.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, this one is a trigger. Worst Drag Race memory.
No, why does this keep getting back in there? Next question.
Okay, that's not a trigger. Here we go. Craziest behind the scenes Drag Race moment. Oh, there's a couple of good ones. Down Under was definitely the season of like the cast being difficult to control. We were put on ice pretty much throughout the entire filming process because Australians, they love to talk. They will not shut up. So we were just talking. There was one point where the queens were talking so much that they literally physically separated us into separate spaces. And even then, we would like look around the corridor and like send like Morse code knocks down the corridor. We were like communicating in any means possible. I was like, do I need to send a carrier pigeon to Art Simone? But really, it was I just saw the production struggling with keeping us quiet, and I think they took that feedback on board for the next season because they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to keep those bitches quiet somehow because we were talkative.
Y'all were loud.
Australians talk. We can't help having a conversation, and they were struggling keeping us quiet.
Okay, I have a random question. You said Australia, and it just brought up something. I have never in my life seen a kangaroo in real life. What is a kangaroo like in real life?
Mama, they're like rats that jump. Like they are everywhere in Australia, and everyone's like, oh my god, kangaroos, wow, they're so cute. No, they are on your lawn in the morning. They are eating your grass. I grew up in Canberra, which is known as the bush capital. It's like surrounded by like bush, which is what we call forest. I know, very sexy.
Bush.
And it's surrounded by bush. And so the kangaroos, they come down off the mountains, and they're in your front yard. And they jump in front of your cars and cause car accidents in the middle of the night. They're everywhere. And they kick you. Do you know kangaroos? And this is a bit of a shocking thing, and everyone will be like, oh my god, you're making kangaroos seem so scary. They try to drown you. If you are near a body of water, a male kangaroo, if he feels territorial, will come near you, he will kick you into the river, and then with his legs he will hold you underwater until you drown.
Well, guys, on that note, I am going to get pummeled by a kangaroo right now.
Work, diva.
Etcetera. Thank you so much for being here. I want you to plug yourself. Tell everybody where they can find you, what's coming up next, all that stuff.
Absolutely. You can find me at Etcetera Etcetera on Instagram, at Glamourbug on Twitter. I'm going on a national tour with my sister Art Simone starting in 2 weeks' time. So any of my Down Under watchers, they can catch me in 23 different cities coming up. And I have a new single coming out next Friday called Encore, which is also with Art Simone, which is about the fact that we're not ready to give up the spotlight just yet. I mean, we hog the camera.
You hold the camera.
Yeah, I know. We love it. We love you. We love you so much, and we love you. I love you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much.
It's been so nice to meet you in person.
Finally.
To chat in the middle of all this
In the
madness.
middle of the madness with these awful lights above us.
Oh my God, I know. It's like I'm in a shopping mall, except I'm really glamorous and beautiful. But that's me in a shopping mall every time. What's new? What's new?
What's new? What's new? Thank you, Boo.
Thank you so much.